This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
Tonight, it's much harder to change the gender on your ID in Missouri after a policy change from the State Department of Revenue. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The move was made quietly without an announcement and stems from an incident in St. Louis County earlier this month. Our Justina Coronel has been looking into the story today. She joined us in the newsroom. Justina?
Well, Mike and Kelly, earlier this month, people protested outside of the Lifetime Fitness in Ellisville. Now, this was over a trans woman with an ID describing her as female using the women's locker rooms. It soon caught the attention of Republican Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who started an investigation into the private gym. Republican State Representative Justin Sparks also reached out to the Department of Revenue. Now, this happened on August 2nd. Then exactly 5 days later, a form on the department's website was removed. Before, a driver could fill this form out to update their gender on their driver's license with a doctor's approval. Well, now people are required to provide either medical documentation that they have undergone gender reassignment surgery or a court order declaring gender designation. The organization Promo has launched a campaign to report issues, and Representative Sparks has concerns too.
Instead of sitting down with community members and actually hearing what changes need to happen, what impact some of these changes that they've already done would entail or impact the community, they've just gone ahead and done it.
Why was it quietly rolled out? This isn't something like government should be fully transparent. This government is of the people, by the people, and for the people. So if something as significant as gender and a policy is going to be changed or written or pushed out, the people should know.
I did ask the Department of Revenue of what prompted this and if they can make these changes without notice. The department did not respond.
Police are investigating a teen's death as suspicious in South St. Louis County. Officers got a call for a shooting just before 1 this afternoon on Getz Avenue in Limay. That's where they found the victim, a teenage boy. Anyone with information on this death is asked to call police.
Tomorrow, there's a hearing in St. Louis County to decide whether to overturn Marcellus Williams' murder conviction. Williams has been on death row for decades. He is convicted of killing former Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale in 1998.
St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell is trying to overturn the conviction, saying there's no DNA evidence. Williams' execution is scheduled for September 24th. Tonight, former President Obama is scheduled to speak at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. You can watch that speech right here on 5 on Your Side starting at 9 p.m. Several top Illinois Democrats will take the stage in Chicago to serve as the warm-up act for President Obama tonight.
Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live inside the convention hall with a preview of tonight's action. Good evening, Mark.
Hey, Kelly and Mike, good evening from Chicago. You're right, Illinois Democrats take center stage and jump into the national spotlight tonight in a way unlike any other in recent memory. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Senators Tammy Duckworth, Dick Durbin, all of them warming up this arena before the fan favorite, Barack Obama, the former president, rallies the United Center. And if history is any guide, few people can rev up this crowd like the former president can. The convention coming home to Chicago here, the heart of the Democratic political machine, is a major win for Governor J.B. Pritzker, who lobbied hard to land this host gig. It also gives us a bit of an insight into the Democratic strategy in 2024 on their path to pick up 270 electoral votes. Republicans picked a battleground state of Wisconsin for their convention, but Democrats picked this big city that represents the party's heart and soul in a state that most precisely matches the demographics and population of the entire nation. Hosting an energetic event like this one here tonight in a reliably blue state is something Democrats hope can galvanize the party and ripple across the entire Midwest.
Yeah, we're going to go blue regardless, of course. However, we are a Midwest state, and what happens here in Chicago can have an effect in Wisconsin, can have an effect in Michigan, can have an effect even in Pennsylvania and all around us as well. And so, especially when with the speakers that we're bringing, it comes down to the message. And so I'm looking forward to what is said today, but more importantly, what is said on Thursday by our Vice President.
And speaking on Thursday night, another well-known Illinoisan, a Republican, former Republican, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who famously co-chaired the Select Committee on January 6th. He said he plans to set out to make it clear that true conservatism has morphed into something of a cult. Live in Chicago, Mark Maxwell, 5 on Your Side.
A key stretch of 7th Street in downtown St. Louis will soon get more than $3.5 million in improvements, but not everyone is on board with the idea.
Yeah, our Megan Kernan joins us live downtown near Keener Plaza with more on those plans. Megan.
Mike and Kelly, the project will be happening right here on 7th Street to build a pedestrian and bicycle-friendly connection between two major downtown anchors, which are Ballpark Village back there to the Convention Center, America Center back there. Now, many business owners are worried about the bike lane causing problems for them.
We've got a lot of feedback from our stakeholders that they want to be able to bike to downtown and through downtown.
This is what 7th Street looks like now. And this is what the more than $3.5 million plan will look like once it's finished.
We've already got a lot of strengths downtown, Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village on one end and the Convention Center on the other. What we're doing here is connecting those two and at the same time creating a really wonderful environment for people to walk, bike, and drive through at the same time.
Kurt Weigel, the Chief Downtown Officer for Greater St. Louis, Inc., says it will include new streets, sidewalks, streetscaping, lighting, trees, and other enhancements.
Better sidewalks. So where the sidewalks are cracked or broken, we'll have better sidewalks. We'll have street trees, which, in a hot summer day, make it a much more pleasant place to walk.
They also plan to add a new bike lane on the west side of 7th Street with raised buffers between it and the driving lanes that will connect to the Brickline Greenway.
The bike lane too will create some buffer between the cars and people walking on the street, so it'll feel safer for pedestrians in particular.
Makia Hicks, the general manager for Hotel St. Louis, says this plan will cut off their ballroom entrance from the road. Where trucks drop off deliveries, it will block their valet services and hotel guests and employees coming through that entrance.
This is actually where our ballroom is located, so an entrance into our hotel. So if they take this space away, when we have events on a street, we have minimal room anyway, our guests are going to have problems actually getting into the hotel. So if you disrupt our operations and then we have upset guests, then obviously it hinders our operations at the hotel.
Now, the Cardinals are fully behind this plan and contributed financially to this project. The Board of Public Service says construction will start next month and will last until summer of 2025. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
Coming up, the U.S. works on a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, but not everyone is on board.
With another data breach compromising personal information, our Verified team explains whether a credit freeze is the best option for you.
And weather-wise, 81 in St. Louis today, 70s outside of the city. A little bit of cloud cover, but mixed with that sunshine right now. A really nice forecast, but I'll let you know when we heat up coming up.
And a reminder, you can watch our Race, Listen, Learn, Live Voices of Ferguson special this week. We hear from Ferguson residents 10 years after the death of Michael Brown. It is Thursday at 7 p.m. You can also read more about Brown's death and the unrest in Ferguson that followed. For a link, text the word Ferguson to 314-425-5355.